Our series has been about education, not about conversion. We believe that learning about different religions and interfaith dialogue make this world a better place. Whether you're an atheist or a person of faith, you're human. And as humans, we deal with a lot of the same problems and anxieties. So in this episode, we talk about guidance, everyday guidance for everyday people, as we walk through differing and similar paths.
The advice that I would give really is twofold. One is that don't be lazy. Intellectual laziness usually results in people hearing a few arguments against belief in God, and it's kind of trendy actually to reject religion, look down upon religion. We live in a secular society, at least here in America for the most part, even though there's a lot of Christians, but I still think it's pretty secular society in terms of our university education system. Hollywood is quite secular, all of the influences that are there. So I would say don't be lazy, and if you hear certain arguments against believing in God, research it and try to read more about it. Read what scholars who believe in God have written, read what Muslim scholars have written, and weigh the arguments before you just give in to the stereotypes or the anti-religious rhetoric. The second thing I would say is that believing in God is not purely an intellectual exercise. There's an aspect of morality involved. So one of the things that the new atheists tend to do, and their followers, they tend to be very haughty, and they exhibit a lot of arrogance and pride. And they mock religious people and religions and all of these things. And you can disagree, but you should disagree respectfully. You can not believe in something that you cannot believe in something, but you don't have to be arrogant about your own beliefs. So I really feel that when people purify their hearts and have good moral conduct and character, according to universally recognized characteristics, that is one of the things that they also need to arrive at belief in God. Otherwise, they can be very clever or very intelligent when it comes to science, mathematics, critical thinking, analysis, but they will not arrive at the truth about God because of their spiritual, moral barriers that are stopping them from arriving at that.
I practice what's called, this is an ancient tradition, ancient spiritual practice in Catholicism. It's called Lectio Divina, which means in Latin, it just means, well, literally it means divine reading, okay? What it means is as follows. So like I have to preach this coming Sunday, and I'm going to be working, this time I'm going to be working in an African-American parish, and these people are really demanding. They really want good preaching. They want good preaching. Okay, so the pressure's on. So what I do, what I've been doing this week is I go to the readings for this coming Sunday, and often first I'll read them, and then I'll sit and I'll be quiet, and then I'll sit a little bit longer and become very, very quiet. And sometimes I do measured breathing. My Buddhist friends have taught me about this as well. And when I found that place within me that's very quiet and very still, then I'll start to read again, but this time very, very slowly. And I monitor the kinds of images that come up in my mind as I'm reading very, very slowly. People that I love, people about whom I'm concerned, students, people with whom I'm angry come up. Ideas float around. And then when I finish the end of the readings, I'll stop and I'll, as we say, I'll sit with the readings. This is what we say in Catholicism. And you may be amused to know, sitting with the readings, this makes so much sense to Buddhists. They love this practice of Lectio Divina. They love, and in religious dialogue with Buddhists, I and several other people, Catholics like me, have taught Lectio Divina to the Buddhists. They think it's a fabulous practice, okay? And you know, all you need to be able to do two things. You need to be able to read, and you need to be able to breathe. Yeah, most people can do that, okay? But mostly then you use the reading and you use the sitting the breathing, excuse me, to sit with the readings. And at the end of the time there, in terms of, you know, solving my problem about what am I going to preach about, it doesn't necessarily come. I let it go. And the following day, when it's time for me to say goodbye to the world and spend some time with the Holy Spirit, again, I'll practice this divine reading, Lectio Divina, with the readings for this coming Sunday. And usually, almost always, somewhere along the line, something will just pop into place. I say, oh, yeah, what a nice thought that is. Yes, this will be benefit. This will be useful for the people. Yeah. And I have to say, I've been doing this for pretty near 40 years. Once I get the insight about the homily pretty much writes itself. I know how to do this. Bing, 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 bing. I know how it's going to work. Great. Okay. Listen, you don't have to be, to practice Lectio Divina, you don't have to be a preacher. You know, you can steal the bulletin from out of church, okay, and it'll give you the Sunday's readings, okay, and you can do that yourself, okay. And I hesitate to give this as advice to people because, you know, when I sit down with a congregation and I know that they've all been reading the readings already, I go, geez, I hope my homily measures up here to what their expectations are. It's a good practice. I repeat, all you have to do is read and breathe and take the time to be away from this noisy world and let the sweet Lord speak to you.
I try to shift it, you know, the anger to the joy. See, I try very hard, you know. So I have a family, so I create wonderful condition. The trying to not to so much the think about is my bad memory. You know, I create something better, more fun. So I trying to transmit to the anger, hatred, to joy and happiness. And I did it. I made it. You know, I always have the laughing of the people. Sometimes I pretending smile or laughing. But this is a kind of the practice. I try to practice myself. Every morning I standing in front of the mirror, I smiling. Not angry, but I smile myself. It's kind of pretending and practice every day. But years after, I don't need to practice because this smiling and this happiness actually naturally fit into my body. See, I create completely different condition in this country. That I succeed to transmit or, you know, transformate it to the anger and hatred, to the joy and happiness. Well, as I say once more, because of people. Not me, because the people made me very happy and they made me change. So thanks for the people. My family, my friend, my colleague, and James Frederick. Well, you have to develop that, how you fulfill very quickly. You understand that? You know? Have justify yourself, that's enough for me. Or fulfilling. But in now young generation, the endless. You know, they are like to possess one after the other. Endless. See? And, well, you know, this maybe you can say this is a human instinct, but it's not. Look at this over 100 years ago. People not like that. But new generation, and the lifestyle is not acceptable. It's endless. They never give up. Why don't you just one meal to say, I have a good meal. I have a small space. I have one car. I have this and that. I'm happy. Fulfilling. You know, people must cultivate how to fulfill, how to joy with small possession. I'm not talking about Mr. Sanders, okay? I'm talking about the general idea from my religious perspective. Just a little thing, we must enjoy what I have. We must, to fulfill what I got. So this is how I would like to give the message to a young generation. Slow down. Slow down.
The new mantra that I live with now, especially recently, I work a lot. Some people say I work too much. But one of my friends, he always reminds me, he just says, don't worry, you can rest in paradise. And really, the moment that really has an effect on me, because I think about it and I say, what am I doing all this for? Like, why do I put in all these extra hours? I'm not really getting paid for it or anything like that. So what's the reason behind it? And it reminds me of my intention and why I do what I do. And I'm just trying to please God, and I try to work as hard as possible, as much as I can. And that really keeps me going. It helps motivate me to remind myself that there's a greater goal, and whatever small sacrifices that we make in this life, whatever effort we're putting in this life, whatever minimal effort we actually really doing, it's all worth it. And everything is just going to be fine and relaxing if we do our part here. So that really keeps me going and brings peace of mind to my heart.
I wake up 5 in the morning every day, and I have a little bell here, okay, and I start the chanting. It's a part of the protocol, and then sit about 15 minutes. But I chant, of course, it's a mantra, okay. We call the great light mantra of the great light. Om Amuga Pairoka Mahamudra Mani Padma Chibara Prabharul Tayam. Om Amuga Pairoka Mahamudra Mani Padma Chibara Prabharul Tayam. Om Amuga Pahirokana Mudra Mani Padma Chibara Pudavurul Tayam. I do that for 100 times a day, every morning. It's the same mantra to repeat. Of course, the other chanting too. So this is the mantra of the great light. Maybe it just give you, well, I'm not really, talk about, insist on something supernatural power, but at least you can feel comfortable, you can concentrate. At that moment, you can really erase all your suffering and stress. This is good meditation. This mantra is same as meditation. It's just like calm you down and to make your energy back.
There's a great rabbi, a great man, Abraham Heschel. He was a Hasidic Jew, a great scholar of the Torah and the Talmud, and a great preacher, and a great colleague of Dr. Martin Luther King, too, and a great friend to Catholics, okay? He said one time, I don't believe in miracles, I rely upon them. I like that very much. That was, and that's just like Abraham Heschel. He had a knack for saying very profound things with very simple words. I don't believe in miracles. I rely on them. And I guess I'm trying to be that way. Certainly, I don't expect anyone, you should believe in Christianity. Indeed, you should begin in Catholicism because look at this is a miracle. No. I just don't understand that as a reason to follow a religion. You follow a religion because it connects you with life, connects you with reality, it connects you with other people in a way that's healthy and compassionate. Miracles. Sometimes there are miracles. Well, at least, let's put it this way, doesn't seem like I can explain them. And it's nice to rely on them. Because when I look at how complicated the challenges of life can be at times, I just don't have enough resources in myself. So those are times in which it's a good thing to have the knack for being able to rely on miracles. I just don't think it's very important to believe in them, that's all.